Finally, today, on A Raging Atheist, we're going to be finishing up with Becket Cook. What is up, you heathens and demons, you sinners and saints, you beautiful, blasphemous people? Welcome back to A Raging Atheist. I'm your boy, Nakasuchi, and today, we're finally finishing up with Becket Cook, and that makes me pretty fucking happy. But first, gotta send a shout out to my patrons, my peoples, my biggest supporters. Your support goes a long way. We're rolling out all this new stuff for you guys. I want to thank you guys for being there for me. I want to thank you guys for your support. If you'd like to become a patron, link is in the description below. Alright guys, finally, at long last, it's been like a month in the making now. We're finally to the end of this interview. What really struck the wrong chord with me. I promised you in the last video that this was gonna be a rage video. I'm not gonna disappoint. Let's start this shit right fucking now.
After your dramatic encounter with God, and you became a Christ follower, I assume people in the gay community would say, well, you're still gay, right? Or people on the other side, Christians, would say, well, you're no longer gay, right? I mean, how did you answer a question like that?
So the very condescending nature of this question, like let's ask the gay dude how it feels to be asked if he's gay, because he's obviously fucking gay. And, you know, like, I almost felt bad for Becket Cook there. But don't feel bad for Becket Cook, because Becket Cook is a douchebag, and he's gonna prove it once and for all in this fucking video. But I want you to go back, and I'm gonna talk over it. I'm gonna show it to you again as they're talking, as he's asking this ridiculous fucking question. Look at the condescending look and smile and smirk on her fucking face. It just irritates the shit out of me. I hate it how Christians pretend to be these moral people, these higher than thou. We are so much better than you, and how do I go about telling my gay child that they can't be gay without hurting their feelings type of bullshit. But their facial expressions really give them the way. That fuck you smile.
I was on a shoot, and a photographer from New York came to LA to do the shoot with us, and he said, "How are you doing, Becket? How's life?" And I was like, "Well, I'm a Christian now, and you know, I told him the whole story, and I said, you know, I'm not gay. I don't live that life anymore. I'm not gay anymore." And he said, "No." He first said, I said, "I'm a Christian," and he said, "You can't be gay and be a Christian." And I said, "David, I'll get to that later." But
you notice how he changed his story mid-remembering there? You know, like, this shit never fucking happened. Like, people don't just assume that because you're gay, you can't be a Christian. You know I'm not part of that community. I'm a straight dude. But, like, I know plenty of gay Christians. Gay Christians are a fucking thing. You know, I just don't find it very genuine. Maybe it fucking happened, but I don't know. Him shifting mid-remembering right there and changing the story up, I think it's pretty fucking obvious.
Yeah, I would never identify myself as a gay Christian, because it's like, why would you identify as a greedy Christian or a gossiping Christian?
I wouldn't identify as a heterosexual Christian either.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like,
it's not part of the identification.
So being gay, that was my old man, that was my old self, and that was crucified with Christ. And so I don't identify as a gay. When people ask me, "What are you?" I'm like, I'm a Christian. My identity is in Christ. Mm-hmm. It's not in my sexuality. And, you know, I happen to struggle with same-sex attraction, but it doesn't matter because I have Jesus.
So much wrong there, so much shit packed together. You know, like you shouldn't identify yourself as a gay Christian because, you know, being gay is your sin, and nobody goes around identifying themselves as sin. That was his response. And her response is, well, I don't want to identify myself as a heterosexual Christian, which is bullshit, because you wouldn't have this problem with homosexuality if your heterosexuality wasn't so fucking important. Complete and utter bullshit and the dismissal of it all. She's disgusting. But, you know, let's get to that last part. You know, this whole, like, yeah, I struggle with same-sex attraction, but I have Jesus. You know, I talked about it in one of my videos on this. Jesus didn't cure you, Becket Cook. Jesus has been dead 2,000 years. He ain't gonna do nothing to help you. And I know what you're referring to, and I know I'm blowing it way out of context, but it's a fucked up context, and it's a fucked up narrative. It's wrong. And I feel sorry for you that you feel this way about yourself. I am gonna find a bit of compassion for you in all of this, because I feel so utterly just sorry for you that you feel like this about yourself.
And it's amazing.
I want to speak to that, because I think if I imagine if I were gay and listening to you talk about this, I would say, but where do you go with all of that temptation that has been a part of your life? But what I see in you and what I read in your book is that a transformation happened. I mean, it wasn't just, you got a new identity.
Yeah.
And even though you may have moments of that temptation, I may have moments, I mean, this is an odd comparison, but to gossip or to be jealous of someone else. Or
You know why it's an odd comparison? Because it's an odd fucking comparison. You know, having natural sexual feelings towards the people that you are attracted to, that's fucking natural. Gossiping is just being an old woman that can't keep her fucking mouth shut. And this whole idea of a total transformation, right? Like you found Jesus, so Jesus got rid of like 98% of it. And sure, you have these moments because look at all the, you know, eye candy around you, but you got rid of 98% of it because of Jesus. But he didn't just say that, did he? But he's gonna start to say that, ain't he?
And so you're treating that as an area that you need to make choices about in your life, but Jesus does make a difference.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, God had so much grace on me that day when he saved me.
Me too.
And my thought life before I was a Christian was dominated by sexuality.
Yes.
And after that day, it was diminished, you know, dramatically.
Yep, I think he just said Jesus came up to him, grabbed him by the balls, so yeah, he didn't want to have sex no more. I mean, so utterly fucking ridiculous. It's obvious what just happened there. That chick could not stand the fact that he was actually promoting, like, you know, he's still gay. Like, Jesus didn't fucking cure him. So she had to interject for him, and he's following along like the good little puppy that he is, selling himself out to this fucking Christian narrative.
So it went from like 100% to like 10%. And so it doesn't, I never miss that life. I don't miss relationships with guys at all. And I know that this doesn't happen with everyone, but I don't miss that life. And I'm just, you know, I'm so enamored with Christ and how much satisfaction he gives me that I don't need anything else.
Boy, and that's how we should all live.
Amen.
Being enamored
The
with
book's
Christ.
for everybody.
So we go through all of that for Becket Cook to finally pimp himself and say that Jesus cured 90% of his gayness. Now, what kind of harm could that possibly do? Well, now they have a gay man documenting how Jesus is now cured 90% of gayness. So all they got to do is get rid of 10%, right? And that's where you have things like electroshock therapy. That's why you have conversion therapy. You know, that's why these things are needed. And we have a gay man saying it now. So let's get a bunch of Christian conservatives together and try to make it fucking law. This narrative is so dangerous. This narrative is fucking disgusting, and I will always rage against it. You know, and I appreciate all the people that told me I should find some compassion for him, and I do have a bit of compassion. I feel sorry that he thinks this way about himself, but you should not feel sorry for Becket Cook. You should not feel sorry that he's out there pushing this awful fucking narrative. And fuck this guy. I'm glad I'm done with it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully, you know, it made you as mad as I am. Because that's what I deal with here. I deal in rage. As always, I'm your boy Nakasuchi. This is A Raging Atheist. If you like my videos, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share me on your social media, comment in the comments section below. Hit that bell so you're notified every single time I have a new video or every single time I have a new live stream. I'll see you soon.